Hi everyone, welcome back to Plum Mashable. So thanks to Cricut, I'm going to be making this really cute little turtle onesie for Charlotte. So let's go ahead and get to it. Alright, so we're going to start off by opening up Design Space, which I've got on the bottom here on my desktop. Then when it opens up, you can see it's got everything here that you need to do. There's a bunch of projects here that you can dive straight into if you wanted to. There's some cool flowers. There's stuff for the mug press, which is coming soon. But I'm just going to start a new project because I'm going to make something from scratch. So I'm going up here to the top left-hand corner and I'll click New Project. And then we're going to start building our project. So I'm going into Design Space Images, which has 100,000 plus images here. I have access to Cricut Access, which gives me access to a bunch of different images and things. But there are a bunch of free ones as well. I'm going to search here for turtle because I want a cute little turtle to put on this onesie. I'm going to scroll down so you can see here they've got the little A here and subscribed. That means the image is free for me. If I want to, and then you've got some others here that are just free total. So you can sort of scroll through and see what's not. I'm trying to find one that's a paid one. I know there's one with a Friends TV show because I was looking at that earlier. So I'll show you one that's just, it'll come up with a price. So see here, this one's $2.99. So you just have to pay for them separately. Same thing with anything from Disney. If you want to get Disney stuff, there is Disney all through here. Oh look, that one's already been purchased. But I did think they had more Disney. Maybe I'm looking at the States one. But anyway, we'll go back to the turtle. I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to have this turtle here. He's going to be the basis for my onesie. So I've clicked on him, he's all highlighted, and then I hit insert. So there he is, and you can see that the size here is 9.288 centimeters by 7.83. I'll change that in just a second. He's also green. He doesn't have to be green, he can be any color I like. The thing to remember with the Cricut is it's not going to print this for you. It's going to match the colors. So if you want this to look like it's going to when it's cut out, just change the color to sort of match the, in this case, vinyl that we're going to use. I'm going to use a silver. So I'm going to make this grey so it kind of looks like how I expect it to look. And I'm just going to make this a little bit bigger. I'm just going to make it up to 11.5 centimeters. You can either do that by scrolling like I just did, or you can just type in 11.5 in here and it will automatically make it as high as it needs to keep that aspect ratio right. So then for the little pun that I'm going to add here, I want it to say turtley cute. So turtle E, which I'm sure is not actually a word, but I'm going to make it a word. And then cute. At the moment, that's under Cricut, the Cricut font, but I'm going to change it. And the fonts are the same as the images. There are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of fonts in here that you can pick whichever one you like. And as with the images, if it's got a little A, it means it's going to be free. If it's got a cost, it's going to be something that's extra for you. So just keep that in mind when you're scrolling through. Sometimes I like to sort of have a look at the font, see what it looks like before I decide, yep, that's what I want to do. That's actually really cute. I like that one. So this one's called Kaiden. So I can just search for it again to do the next one. I'm just making them both bold. I'll also make these the same color because considering they are also going to be made out of the same material. Oh, that's adorable! Now I just want those words to be just a little bit bigger. So I'm just making the cute just a little bit more. I might leave the turtley just a little bit smaller. And then if I really want to see sort of what it's going to look like, I'll grab just a plain old square and I'll make this a pale blue, which is what color I'm using for my onesie. And I'm just pulling it down so it's at the back, or pulling these ones up so they're on top of it. And that way when I put this here, you can sort of get an idea of what it's going to look like on the onesie. But I'm pretty happy with that. I think that's not kind of cool, I think it's very cool. So I'm just going to then go make it, which is in the top right hand corner. It's going to sort everything into my mat. The cool thing with the mat is you can move things around. So you can grab hold of the picture, or you can grab hold of the font and move them around. So if they are a little bit close for you, which in that case I just found them a little bit too close and I've got all this room anyway, I might as well use it. I'm just moving them around so that I'm happy with where they're sitting. Now because we're using iron-on vinyl here, we need to hit mirror because it needs to be cut opposite way. So always make sure if you're using anything HTV that you mirror that, and then you go continue. Now going to tell me to turn on my maker, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. So while we're waiting for the Cricut to turn itself on, I just want to let you know a few things about Cricut and Design Space. So first of all, I didn't know this, but it's called Cricut because the very first Cricut machine sounded like a chirping cricket, like the little chirpy noises, which I thought was really cute. I've always wanted to know why it was called Cricut, so I was really excited to learn that. Small piece of information no one needs to know, but I just thought it was really, really cool. There's obviously hundreds and hundreds of designs in here that you can make for yourself. There's also hundreds of projects, and you can also jump into other designs that people have made and uploaded to Design Space. So I'm going to make this project available on Design Space. I'll put the link down below so you can go and find it. But it means that there's a whole world of designs and of projects that you can make without actually having to design them yourself. But then there are so much you can do with this, just designing it yourself as well. I'm learning slowly. I know it's been a slow burn with the Cricut. I started off with it and was really hard, really loved it, and then kind of fell off it. I'm really starting to get back into it again. It's a lot of fun to use it for a lot of simple projects, and now I'm starting to learn how to do them a little bit, the more difficult projects. And there's so many different materials you can use as well. And that's sort of now that the Cricut's just turned itself on. If you go in here and go browse all materials, this is where you can see what you can use. You can use artboard, you can use cardstock. Glitter cardstock is really great, and this would be really good too. I've used it in my social media planner for cutting out like the months of the year over and over again, so I can stack them up. You can use cardstock, and glitter cardstock there is really nice as well. You can also use fabric. If you're a sewer, the Cricut is going to be great for you because it can cut out a bunch of different shapes and things that you can use. Really good too if you're a quilter. Like, look at all those different kinds of fabrics that you can put in. It's amazing. You can use felt, you can use foam, you can use iron-on, and there are lots of different iron-ons. There is just the plain colors, and then you've got the printed ones, and then you've got the metallic ones like we're going to be using today. They've got leather, you've got paper, you've got plastics, you can use acetate. And remember, with the foil tool that I used a couple of months ago, you can use that on acetate, which would make a really pretty design there as well. And then you've got a bunch of other stuff as well. You've got balsa wood, you've got duct tape, you've got magnetic sheets. There are literally hundreds of thousands of different things you can use in Design Space to cut out and make projects with. So I'm just going to scroll back down to the heat transfer vinyl, or the iron-on, sorry. And I'm just going to try and find everyday iron-on metallic. So you've got everyday iron-on at the top there. I've actually already got it favorited, but sometimes I like to go through and just make sure that it's right. And then we'll just go ahead and hit done. So it'll set it up for that. So it just tells me here I need to put no tool in clamp A, my fine point blade in B, and then I just load my mat. So then I'm going to go ahead and grab my vinyl out. This is a brand new roll, sorry, of the metallic sampler iron-on. I'm going to grab a sheet of the silver. I love that gold though. Like, I'm not a gold fan, but that's really pretty. So I'll grab a sheet out of the silver. Just put that back together again so that I can use it another day. And we'll just go ahead and stick it down to our mat. So when you're using heat transfer vinyl, you just need to make sure that it's got the shiny side down. So you want this side down. And again, remember, it always needs to have your images mirrored so that it cuts correctly. Okay, so once that's down, I'm going to load it into the Cricut. Let it get itself ready, and then hit go. Finished, you just release it and we take it back over to our workspace. Alright, so now that I've got the project over onto my standard workspace, I'm just going to pull the vinyl off. So this is just a habit I've got into whenever I'm using my Cricut mats. I always peel the mat away from the project instead of the other way around. And then always make sure you put your plastic straight back over the top so that it doesn't lose its sticky. I am going to clean all of my mats very soon, so if you're interested in hearing how I do that, please let me know. Alright, so then I'm just going to go ahead and cut off my design here, just so I don't waste too much of the vinyl. That's going to be a little bit wobbly, but that's alright. So I like to save as much of the vinyl as I can, so that's why I'm going up onto the top here. Go. And then just to make it easier when I position them, I'm also just cutting the words away from each other. So the turtley and the cute is now separate from the design. And then we're going to grab a weeding tool and I'm going to weed this out. Now, heat transfer vinyl is pretty good. It's not hard to pull up from the sheet. So I sort of grab a corner off and then just pull away, but I just pull gently. It's not sticky like regular vinyl is, so it's sort of a bit easier to do this. Just pulling it away gently because I don't want to accidentally pull up something I'm not supposed to. There we go. I'll pop that all in my little bin. And then I'll just go ahead and do all the little bits. So that's the whole of the little turtle image. Oh my god, isn't that so cute? Then we'll go ahead and do the words as well. They're exactly the same. There's no difference between words and images. Obviously just some words have got little inner bits and others don't. But thankfully for this one, the cute one, we don't have any. Turtley's only got one, so it's not so bad. If you haven't got a weeding tool, you can always just use tweezers. Works just as well. I just find this weeding tool really great because it gets in and under. It's a really cool tool. Go, and all cut up absolutely perfectly. Oh, they're adorable. Alright, so then I have my little onesie here. This is just from Kmart, nothing special. The only thing I have done to pre-treat this, always make sure if you're going to put it on clothes that you wash it beforehand and wash it without fabric softener. Something to do with the fabric softener makes these not stick on quite as nicely. So I've just done it without the fabric softener. And then we can go ahead and just sort of have a look at where we want to put the image. If you need to, you can go back to what you put on the computer just to sort of have a look at where you put everything. But just remember that you can't put the vinyl down on top of the other vinyl. So there's going to be sort of 3 little lots here. Actually, I might be even tricky, and just to do this all at once, I'm just going to go around and cut off some of the excess plastic just around where I'm going to put my words. That way I can do it all in one go. Lining this back up again where I want it. Just making sure it's all in the right spot. I need to move it over just a little bit. So once I've got that ready, I can just move this off and we're just going to grab out our heat-proof mat. Now if you don't have one of these, you can use just a folded up bath towel. They do say though not to use an ironing board because it's not solid enough. You're not going to get the amount of pressure that you need. So use this or just use a bath towel. And then I'm going to grab my EasyPress as well. So this has been sent to me by Cricut. So thank you very much, Cricut, for sending me this. So I'm just going to turn on the EasyPress. And then to know what temperature you need to put it at, I'm just going to grab in the computer again. So I'm just going to open up a web browser and I'm just going to go to cricut.com/US. It's saved here somewhere. US heat guide, I think. It doesn't work, I'll work it out. Aha! I remembered! And this is where it'll tell you what temperature and how long you need to set your EasyPress up for. So first of all, it's going to ask you what machine you've got. I've got an EasyPress 2. Also gives you a way you can find out if you're not sure. Heat transfer material, I'm using Everyday Iron-On Light/Metallic, and my base material is 100% cotton. And then you check if you're using the EasyPress mat or if you're using a towel. I'm using the mat. I go apply, and it'll tell me how to do everything. So I'm going to flip this into Celsius instead of Fahrenheit. So it's going to tell me to preheat it for 5 seconds, set it to 155 degrees for 30 seconds. So I'm going to turn the heat press on again, and I'm going to set the temperature for 155. So you just wait till it's flashing like that. And the time for 30 seconds, so that's already done. So I don't need to do anything. Now it's going to heat up. So you'll see this sort of slowly heating up. It'll beep when it's ready, and that's when we can go ahead and start doing some stuff. The cool thing about the heat guide is it also tells you how much pressure to give, how long you need to preheat things for, and also when to remove the liner, because different kinds of iron-on need you to pull off the liner at different points. This one, for the metallic one, tells me it needs to happen when it's cool to the touch. So we'll have to wait for it to cool down before we can remove the liner. Alright, so we've just had our little beep sound. First thing we're going to do is we're going to take this off the little mat. Now this is hot, don't touch the bottom, that's why it's got a little mat thing here. We're going to put it over the onesie and sit it there for 5 seconds. And that's just to preheat it. And that helps the vinyl stick a little bit better. So I'm going to go ahead and line this up again where I want it. I'm going to try and do this all at once like I said, so I'm just putting all of the bits that I need, just making sure none of them overlap. Alright, once that's stuck down, I'm going to go ahead and do the press. Now I'm just going to stand up for this. So you don't need any protective anything on here, you just need to put it straight down over the top and just put some light pressure on it and then hit the button. Wrong button, but that's okay. It saves the setting, so thankfully we're okay there. And just hold it down just with light pressure for this one, just for those 30 seconds, and it'll beep when it's finished. Okay, so just take it off. So once we finish pressing on that side, we just need to flip it over and just press it for another 15 seconds on the back side. So I'm just going to hit that button again, and I'm just going to watch it count down to 15. This is just to seal that in and make sure that it's stuck properly. Just take that off, flip it back over, and then we'll just leave it to cool off so that we can peel this off. So while we're waiting for it to cool, I can give you a little bit more information about some other stuff. So you guys know I've already used the standard blade that comes with the Cricut. I've also played with the foil tool that comes with the Cricut, but there are so many other cool things. There's the knife blade, which is what I use to go through my really heavy cardstock. Like if you remember back to my flip book that I did for Charlotte, that chipboard, I used the knife blade to get through that because it will go through that harder material. So that's what you use for like basswood and balsa wood. There's also some cool things that I don't have yet, like an engraving tool. Oh my god, I'm so excited to have a look at that. And then there's also a debossing tool, which I don't quite understand that, but I look at it and I go, I want to know how to use that. I see pictures and stuff on Instagram, and I was like, I want to know how you do that. So I'm starting to investigate those things as well. There's obviously things we've always had with the Cricut as well. You can do writing with this. If you're a horrible handwriter like I am and you want to sort of get away with doing invitations and things with nice writing, you can do that. And they're always bringing in different kinds of tools and things. Like the embossing stuff wasn't available when I started out with Cricut, and the foil tool definitely wasn't. And they're slowly bringing in all these other kinds of tools that are going to just make the Cricut so much more useful and so much more can help you be even more creative along the way. Alright, so that now feels cool to me. So we're going to go ahead and peel this up. This is always the scariest part for me. Always petrified that I haven't done it right. Oh, yay! And I'm pulling it really, really slowly. Actually, that doesn't quite look stuck down enough. Now that's okay. If it's not quite stuck down enough, that's fine. You just stick it back on for another couple of seconds. So I'm not doing it for another 30, sorry. I'm just going to do it for another 10 seconds or so. All you're doing is just making sure that the adhesive's stuck down, and that's fine. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead again and let it cool down and we'll try that peel again. Alright, so we've cooled down again. So I'm going to take this off and you see straight away it's much, much easier this time. Oh, and then we get stuck on that bit, but that's alright. It's still coming off fine. There we go. Do the big one. Oops, it's pulling off the cute at the same time. That's fine. There we go. It does look a little bit like it's peeling up, but it's not. It's just the metal. It's just the metallic look of it. And there we have our cute little onesie. Oh, it is peeling up just a little bit. Okay, that's all right. Put this back down. Oh, now. Something that I do know. Don't, because I've done this before and it's very amusing when you mess it up. Don't put the heat press back down with no plastic over the top or no protection over the top, because it will melt the vinyl that's already on there, so we want to avoid doing that. So I've just grabbed a bit of plastic that I used for another project a little while ago. So again, just gonna give it a couple of seconds, a little bit of pressure, just to make sure it's all stuck down. I'm gonna pull this one up. So again, we'll just wait for it to cool. All right, so that's all cooled down again. That's better. Now you don't have it. So again, it does look like it's peeling up a little bit, but it's not. It's just the metallicness of it. And there we have our cute little onesie. I love that. I think that's so adorable. And I love that you can really make anything you like. So easy to come up with a pun in your head. The other ones I thought of maybe doing, because we've sort of decorated Charlotte's room in a bit of an ocean theme. So I sort of thought of doing whale hello there, and I'm whaley cute. There's lots of different puns that I came up with, and you can just search the internet and find them without any kind of a hassle at all. And then you just bring it into Design Space. You can write the font out in any kind of font, write the words out, sorry, in any kind of font you like, and then just add in your little design. It's just awesome. You can add in your own design too. If you can draw, which we all know I can't draw, but if you can draw, you can add your own designs into Design Space and upload them, cut them out with vinyl and do it that way. So cute, and something so personal that nobody else is going to have. You're not going to have to worry about your kid or your friend's children having clothes that everybody else has, because you can make them all yourself. So Cricut has now started coming into a bunch of other different stores. They're not just available at Spotlight anymore. They're also available in Big W, oh my goodness, Harvey Norman, and also at Costco if you have one nearby. And you can buy so much of the range in so many different places. It took until when I went into Spotlight and had another look at some of the patterned, especially the patterned vinyl in particular, that I realised how big the range had got, and they're just beautiful. So go and check them out. If you already are a Cricut person, definitely go and check it out if you haven't. But if you're not someone that is into Cricut, hasn't looked at it before, there's also smaller machines. You don't have to get the maker. You don't have to get the big sized EasyPress. There's a smaller EasyPress available, and there's also the Cricut Joy that does a lot of the things that a lot of the other Cricuts do, but especially does vinyl really well. So you can have a look at the Joy too if maybe you don't want to invest in the big maker right up front. So thank you so much again to Cricut for sending me an EasyPress. I've wanted one for a long time, so it was really great to grab one and be able to play with it. I'm going to be making a lot more with my Cricut and my EasyPress coming up soon. I have another idea for a onesie using a friend's quote that's just going to be so cute. So if you want to see that, please make sure you subscribe to my channel so you don't miss that one when it goes up. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up and make sure that you'll follow me on all of my social medias as well so you don't miss anything else from me. Hope you have an absolutely awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you again in my next video. Sending lots of huggles. Bye!